The attack on Pearl Harbor, the story of a turning point in history. In the early morning hours of December 7, 1941, the serene waters of Pearl Harbor, a U.S. naval base on the island of Oahu, Hawaii, were transformed from a peaceful sanctuary into the stage for a devastating surprise attack. This event would not only alter the course of World War II, but also reshape the very fabric of American society and its role on the global stage. The origins of this fateful day lie in a complex web of geopolitical tensions and military strategies that had been brewing for years. The 1930s saw a rise in militarism across the globe, with Japan pursuing aggressive expansion throughout Asia and the Pacific. The Japanese government, driven by a desire for resources and regional dominance, invaded Manchuria in 1931 and later launched a full-scale invasion of China in 1937. Meanwhile, the United States, advocating for isolationism, imposed economic sanctions and trade embargoes against Japan, which only heightened tensions between the two nations. As Japan continued its military campaigns, it sought to secure resources from Southeast Asia, particularly oil and rubber, to sustain its war efforts. Recognizing that a conflict with the United States was likely, Japanese leaders meticulously planned an audacious strike against Pearl Harbor. They aimed to cripple the U.S. Pacific Fleet and secure dominance over the Pacific, allowing Japan to expand its territorial ambitions unchallenged. On December 7, 1941, the Japanese Imperial Navy launched its carefully orchestrated attack on Pearl Harbor. At precisely 7:48 a.m., the assault commenced with a coordinated and devastating strike, as the first wave, consisting of 183 aircraft, made up of torpedo bombers, dive bombers, and fighters, soared through the skies in a meticulously planned formation, descending rapidly upon the unsuspecting naval base below. The air was filled with the roar of engines and the ominous hum of war machines, while on the ground, the personnel and sailors, caught off guard, could scarcely comprehend the magnitude of the attack that was about to unfold with terrifying force. The surprise was complete, and the defenders were caught off guard, still engaged in their routine morning preparations. The skies were clear, and the sun shone brightly as the first bombs fell, shattering the calm. As the planes swooped down, chaos erupted. Anti-aircraft guns opened fire, but the overwhelming surprise and precision of the attack left many defenders unable to respond effectively. The first targets were the battleships lined up at Battleship Row. The USS Arizona, a Pennsylvania-class battleship, was hit by a bomb that penetrated its deck, causing a catastrophic explosion. The ship sank within minutes, taking 1,177 crew members with it. The sight of the burning vessel became a symbol of the attack and the loss of life. Within minutes, other battleships, including the USS Oklahoma and USS West Virginia, suffered similar fates. The destruction was swift and devastating. Hangars filled with aircraft were also targeted, and by the end of the first wave of the attack, nearly 200 U.S. planes were destroyed on the ground. The second wave, consisting of 171 additional aircraft, followed shortly after, targeting the remaining military installations and reinforcing the devastation wrought in the first assault. As the attack unfolded, the American military personnel fought bravely to defend their base, but their efforts were hampered by confusion and the overwhelming might of the Japanese forces. Sailors, soldiers, and airmen scrambled to respond, manning anti-aircraft guns and attempting to save their comrades. However, the attack lasted only a few hours, and by 9:45 a.m., the air raid was over. The toll was staggering. 2,403 Americans were killed, and nearly 1,200 were wounded, while 18 ships were sunk or heavily damaged. The repercussions of the attack were profound and immediate. The United States, which had maintained a policy of neutrality in the conflict raging in Europe and Asia, found itself thrust into the war. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, upon receiving news of the attack, addressed Congress the following day, declaring December 7 a date which will live in infamy. He called for a declaration of war against Japan, which was overwhelmingly supported by Congress. In the wake of the attack, the American public, who had largely been divided over involvement in the war, united in outrage and determination. Propaganda efforts surged, rallying the nation around the war effort. young men flocked to enlist in the military, and industries pivoted to produce war materials, marking the beginning of a massive mobilization effort. The attack on Pearl Harbor had significant strategic implications as well. While the Japanese succeeded in crippling the Pacific Fleet temporarily, they failed to destroy critical infrastructure, such as oil storage facilities and repair docks, which would prove vital for the U.S. Navy in the months to come. Moreover, the attack galvanized American resolve and ignited a fierce determination to defeat the Axis powers. In the ensuing months, the United States quickly shifted from a posture of isolationism to one of active engagement in the global conflict. The attack on Pearl Harbor prompted the U.S. to declare war not only on Japan, but also on Germany and Italy, who were allied with Japan. The nation mobilized for war, and the military, previously unprepared for a conflict of such magnitude, rapidly expanded and reorganized to meet the challenges ahead. As the war progressed, the United States fought fiercely in the Pacific theater against Japan, embarking on a series of grueling campaigns to reclaim territories taken by the Japanese forces. The Battle of Midway, just 6 months after Pearl Harbor, marked a turning point in the war, as American forces dealt a significant blow to the Japanese fleet, shifting the balance of power in the Pacific. In addition to the military response, the attack on Pearl Harbor had far-reaching consequences for American society. It led to heightened fears of espionage and sabotage, resulting in the internment of Japanese Americans, many of whom were U.S. citizens. This tragic chapter in American history reflected the nation's struggle with identity, loyalty, and prejudice in the face of war. As the years passed, the sacrifices made by the brave men and women at Pearl Harbor were honored and remembered. Memorials were erected, and the USS Arizona Memorial stands as a poignant reminder of the lives lost on that fateful day. The attack served as a catalyst for the transformation of the United States into a global superpower, fundamentally altering its role in international affairs. By the end of World War II, the United States emerged victorious, having played a pivotal role in defeating the Axis powers. The lessons learned from Pearl Harbor shaped military strategies, intelligence operations, and foreign policy for decades to come. The attack, initially a moment of tragedy, became a defining moment that propelled the nation into a new era of engagement on the world stage. In the years following the war, the United States sought to rebuild and reshape the post-war world, fostering alliances and establishing a framework for international cooperation. The memory of Pearl Harbor served as a powerful reminder of the need for vigilance and preparedness in the face of evolving global threats. As history reflects on the attack on Pearl Harbor, it stands as a testament to the resilience of a nation and the sacrifices made by countless individuals. The events of that day, forever etched in the annals of history, continue to inspire and remind future generations of the importance of unity, courage, and the enduring spirit of the American people.